Do you cuss on your records? They're like, yep. Do you defile women with your lyrics? Yep. Do you fondle your genitalia on stage? They're like, yep. Do you glorify violence and advocate for the use of guns? Do you respect anything at all? And they're like, nope. He's like, sign
here.
And I was just like, damn, message.
Hey, welcome back to the Black and White Cinema Podcast with Kev and Ugie. I'm Kev.
I'm Ugie.
Oh man, today we have episode 4, CB4. This week is a little different than prior episodes, and you'll see the same next week. Ugo and I decided that we're going to do a movie I haven't seen, which is today, and then next week we're going to do a movie he hasn't seen, so look forward to that. Right off the rip, no pun intended, watching this and then listening to the new 21 Savage album was the best way I could have started my day.
Why is that?
It was like this incredible mockumentary of 90s gangster rap. And then I go to work and I sit down and I just plug in like the modern like homage to 90s gangster rap that is 21 Savage, and it just set my day off right.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
How was your day?
I loved this movie.
Yeah. Yes. I'm very happy about that. I had our friend Alex was over this weekend.
Shout out Firo.
Yeah, shout out Alex. Him and Sarah both watched this movie with me. And you know when you watch a
Had they
movie with
seen it?
someone? No.
Okay. Of course not.
Yeah. You know when you watch a movie with someone and it's just like, I was laughing at the jokes that I thought were hilarious, and like he was like on his phone and then Sarah was doing something and I was just like, Sarah was kind of into it. She's like, okay, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. And it was just me giggling to myself into the night, and Sarah's just like, hey, can you like turn that down? Alex is trying to sleep. And I'm just like, so then I was just like, oh man, maybe I should like pick a different movie. Maybe this just doesn't appeal to white people.
No, I mean, that is possible. Let us know, white folks, in the comments what you thought of CB4.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite movies. Like, I'm very happy. Like the way that I think when I was like, you're gonna love this movie, I promise you.
There are movies on our list that I haven't seen, but I know of them. This one, like, I had not heard of ever. And like, even when you sent me the trailer, I was like, I'm not going to watch the trailer. I want to go in blind. Just knowing this is one of Oogie's favorites is good enough for me.
Did you eventually watch the trailer?
No, I haven't watched the trailer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure when I sent you the text message, I was just like, I think I said like, this was directed by white people. So like the funny parts aren't even in the trailer.
Yeah, I think you also told me it wasn't very popular because white people didn't get any of the jokes.
Yeah.
But man.
Yeah, once you watch the movie, it's just like, it's one of those, like, I remember when I watched it, so getting into like how we were introduced to the movie, obviously I introduced you just now, but I can't even remember how I came across this movie. I'm pretty sure it was on like one of those, we had Dish Network growing up, so I think it was like on like Cinemax, or it was like on one of those random like movie channels, and I was home with my cousin. Somehow like the Straight Out of Locash came on and I was watching it, and the song got me into it more than anything. It was like this movie I had no idea what it was called, and I just kind of watched it. And then like somehow like years later I saw it again in a very similar fashion where like I caught it and I was like, oh yeah, it's this movie. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But then that was around the like YouTube time, so I was able to look up the song and then find out what the movie is. And then I finally got to watch the full movie in college, and I was like, yeah, I absolutely love this movie.
Nice.
I'm really sad that I didn't know about it until I was like, in my
like
teens.
20.
Yeah, like probably 20.
Around 20. Yeah.
And I feel real bad that like I didn't like grow up watching this movie a million times, because it's it's great.
I mean, this is our weekly moment where we're going to give a shout out to Axel, because we can't help but mention him. But I just assumed he had seen this, and I said something to him, and he had no idea what I was talking about. So I sent him the trailer. I was like, dude, you're going to love it. Watch it before our episode comes out.
I'll give Alex an out that he had just played like in a tournament, and he was tired, and we went to Korean barbecue and we gorged ourselves. So he might have legitimately just been tired. So I'll give him the pass that he might not have been in like the right mental state to watch the movie.
I mean, not everything is for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. I didn't want to just come out hot and be like, all right, yeah, white people don't like anything.
Yeah, fuck you, Firo. CB4, starring Chris Rock, Alan Payne, Deezer Dee, Charlie Murphy in his debut role, Phil Hartman, and Chris Elliott. The tagline is sex, rhymes, and keeping it real.
Another shitty tagline, which is like the antithesis. They don't keep it real. Yeah, that's the entire point of this movie. Well, we'll get into that. I have feelings about that, but yeah.
Yeah. Synopsis, which probably won't do it justice. A middle-class aspiring rapper named Albert adopts the identity of a local imprisoned criminal to give his group street cred. Under the name MC Gusto, he and his group CB4 become gangster rap superstars until the real criminal escapes and comes looking for them. Released March 12th, 1993. Rated R. This is our first R-rated episode.
Really?
For strong language, sexuality, and drug content. Yep, check. Runtime, an hour, 29 minutes. Another nice little 90-minute movie here. Directed by Tamra Davis. Written by Chris Rock, Nelson George, and Robert Locash.
Tamra Davis sounds like a black name, so I might have misspoke. Let's look it up.
Let's look up Tamra Davis. Nope.
Nope. There we go.
Nope.
I knew it.
Oh, she did Half Baked.
Yeah.
She down.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, written by Chris Rock. I dig that. I looked up to see if this was while he was still on SNL or not, and it came out right about when he was leaving, which means they were shooting it while he was still on the show. Because he was on from I think 90 to 93.
Which makes sense while Phil Hartman was there, because they were probably buddies right around the late 80s.
Yep. Which we'll get into, but just quick note: Phil Hartman, perfect for this role. Budget, by far the lowest budget of the season of Black and White Cinema podcast so far, at $6 million.
$6 mil?
So I guess there's the question: what do you think? What did it do opening weekend? What do you think it did gross?
I can't imagine that it made its money back. I love this movie. I'm going to say, I'd like to believe in a world where this movie made double its money, but most people, as of right now, you're the only white person that I know, besides maybe Webb. Webb's probably seen this movie, but you're probably the only white person that I know that has seen this movie, and that's because you're doing it with me for this. I don't really run into people who have seen this movie, even black people. So it definitely did not. I can't imagine that it made its money back in theaters, and I mean, it probably had to. Like you're saying, it was in '93.
93, very low budget.
$6 mil budget. $6 mil. I mean, I'm gonna say no.
Is it not profitable at all?
Well, I feel like you're leading me there, so
I know. I'm just asking, do you want to guess opening weekend or gross? What?
I'm gonna guess opening weekend for 3 million, and maybe I'll say it probably made its money back. Let's say it made 7 million.
Okay. So opening weekend, 6.1 mil.
You're fucking kidding me.
I'm not. It made its money back. Grossed at $18 million.
Really?
This was more popular than I realized.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it tripled its budget. Yeah.
That's insane to me.
That's a small budget.
That is right. If we look at the gross of prior episodes, it still grossed less than anything else we've watched so far.
But it made its money back, and I think a lot of like I said, it's the opening debut film for Charlie Murphy. It put a lot of Chris Elliott.
This was Chris Rock was super popular at this point on SNL.
They probably. Well, I imagine it was like that. I think on name alone, people went to the movie, and I bet people were just
yeah.
I would understand why someone didn't like this movie, but then it's just if you like this aesthetic of movie, then you're gonna love this movie because it's so good.
Yep.
I think the lesson here is to dream small.
Yeah.
That's the motto here at Black and White Cinema Podcast.
Under promise, over deliver.
Yeah. To your point of some people would like it, some wouldn't. It had a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, Tomato Meter, 67% audience score.
This is a movie I guarantee, this is 93, so Siskel and Ebert probably did review this movie, and I bet they were just kind of look it up, because I'm sure this is a Siskel and Ebert review where they were just like, yeah, they get into hijinks and this and that, and yeah, it's just not a very good movie. They probably use like really pompous words for saying like, oh, it's, like what would be a word that they would use to describe this, like sophomoric or something like that. They'd say it's like ribble rabble. It's a jaunt or something like that, but.
Well, I've got a number of problems with this movie, CB4. First, I don't think the music selections here are very good. Second, I rarely laugh. The jokes are so broad, both black and white, all in caricature. I know this picture wasn't made for me, but neither was Wayne's World, and I sure love that. CB4 makes little sense.
It sure doesn't make much sense. In fact, that documentary being made by Chris Elliott is dropped, and they forget that it's even supposed to be a documentary. Then they bring in a politician, a white politician, who's going to go for the anti-rap vote, and then they forget, and of course his kid is a rap fan, and then they forget all about that plot. If you watch carefully, the ending never happens.
But yeah, I think what I would imagine is that, and we can look this up later, and then right here can be like a little banner of what happened. But
it'll probably say 2 thumbs down.
Yeah.
2 thumbs down for the confused rap music parody CB4.
I'm gonna imagine that this movie has done better as time went on. I think people will look back at this movie and think it's a better movie than it was at the time.
I can see
because
that.
I feel like as we get into this movie, it does a very good job at it's telling a story that I think is all too true and real these days with most rap, and it's a very interesting look at it, and for the most part, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and I will say, stylistically, before we get into the recap, I loved that it was no winking. There's very clear parody, but it's never so overt that it's laughing at itself.
Yes.
All of the characters are taking it seriously, even when it's silly. And I think that made it funnier because what?
No, I was gonna say there's literally one winking, that did bother me. Ben. In the scene, he literally winks at the camera, and they break. Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah. But you're right. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah.
The main character is the story as it moves. Even when things are ridiculous or that parody vibe, they're in it. They're being those characters,
which helps you take the movie a little bit more seriously because there is a narrative that they're driving at, and I think that they actually are successful in driving that narrative, and they have. One of my favorite pieces of acting from that movie comes at the end with his father, and I was just like, this is the core of what this movie is trying to say, and I think it accomplished that very well.
Yeah.
So I think this is about the time we'll get into the movie. So this is our spoiler alert. If you haven't watched CB4, I implore you to go watch it before we continue to spoil a little bit more of the movie. But again, I'm a pirate of the open sea. So I imagine that you can find it, I don't know, on Amazon or something.
Yeah, I rented it on Prime.
You rented it, exactly. So go do that. I think you can also rent it on YouTube, or you can pirate it yourself because these companies are already stealing too much from us.
Yeah, but you can steal, I will say, this is like a Kevin Ugie pro tip. We can add this as a reel, actually. Kevin Ugie pro tip, if you don't need your Amazon shipment tomorrow, you delay it a few days, you get that digital credit, you use it to rent movies that Kevin Ugie are reviewing. That's what I did.
Yeah. Pro tip! If you can unpost, keep this in, but if in post, if you could put like a little, like a ding, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the more you know, exactly. All right, so spoiler warning's over. Y'all came back after watching CB4, and we're going to talk about it. So we start off with the hip-hop intro. I noticed introducing Charlie Murphy in the credits. That's how I know it's his debut. It's the intro was excellent. It was very reminded me of some of my favorite Gone in 60 Seconds intro credits. I think is shot very similarly, where it's this pan across memorabilia.
Yeah,
thought that was super cool. The music through this whole movie is great.
It's again time capsule, just late 90s or early 90s, late 80s hip hop. Again, another the score was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so the first shot we see is besides the credits is Gusto's Jeep YJ parked in the middle of a courtyard to a building on top
downtown
of some stairs,
LA,
getting a ticket. The crew is all in their manager's office seeing a rough cut of the documentary about them as directed, shot by Chris Elliott. I don't think I even wrote down what his character's name is.
His name's like D. White or something like
yeah,
that.
Oh yes,
like,
it's A.
A. White. A. White.
A. White. Yeah. Perfect. I hate to admit how much I identified with his character in this movie. Like, first of all, who else am I going to identify with in this movie? But like this guy who's clearly like enamored with black culture, so much to the point that he's making a documentary about this group. I'm like, all right, well, here I am once again identifying with a Chris Elliott character, which is not always the best.
One thing that I did like in this movie is that even though like he gets checked a couple times, it doesn't also devolve into like a let's just beat up on this white guy trope the entire time either. Gusto did treat him with like ample respect that he's here to like be a journalist.
Sure,
and, like, telling him the story.
And
like,
he wants him to know
in
the
good
story.
faith. Yeah.
I also like he was Chris Elliott super young in this. That was a fun first shot. I'm a big fan of his. So we got the group. We got Albert, aka MC Gusto. We got
Deezer Dee as
Otis / Stab Master.
Stab Master Arson.
Excellent.
And Alan Payne as Dead Mike.
Right. As Euripides as his
Yeah,
character?
Euripides.
Deezer Dee, popular for ER, also had side roles in Romeo and Michelle and Bringing Down the House.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember him from Bringing Down the House, but I'm going to watch for him now.
Yeah.
And Bringing Down the House will absolutely be on this show.
That's 100% a Kevin Ugie movie.
Yeah. One of the tropes I loved the whole time with Chris Elliott is like when he's like touching them and they're like, "Don't touch me."
Don't be touching me. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Just like completely doesn't think anything of it.
So the beginning. So a lot of this movie is just Chris Elliott is shooting a documentary on the group, and they started off with a Straight Outta Locash, which is like their hit song, which is essentially like a parody of Straight Outta Compton. Mm-hmm. Like they are a stand-in for NWA essentially.
Yeah.
And
even the names.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we're gonna post this or not, but like I unironically just love this song. I just play this song. It's like a part of my like my gym playlist. I just like the song as a song.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
The documentary opens with like rappers and Shaquille O'Neal like talking about the group. Ice-T, Ice Cube,
Halle Berry.
Yeah, Halle Berry, super young Halle Berry.
Who's that like rock? I assume they were a rock group.
Butthole
Surfers, yeah.
Yep.
Ice-T is just like, they showed me their guns, G.
Yeah.
They real. What am I supposed to? He's like, what am I supposed to do now? I can't dance. I can't do anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's Flava Flav.
Yeah, Flavor Flav. I don't think that Flavor Flav was acting. I honestly believe that
he thought he was in a documentary.
Yeah, he thought he was in a documentary, and they were just like talk about these people, and he was just like, man, they some fucking busters.
Yeah.
You know? I know that Chris Rock loves Flava Flav, and just knowing, like, I imagine that Chris Rock gave him no information.
Yeah.
It was just like, these are some people, and he was just like, fuck that.
Yeah, they ain't hip hop. Yeah, and the lead singer of Butthole Surfers says that he learned about CB4 from the first black woman he'd ever made love to.
Yeah, he's like, I heard sweat from my balls, and there was actually sweat on my balls.
Yeah. Oh man.
I also love like while they're while that's happening, Gusto's in the back like counting cash
money
the entire time.
Oh, we also get introduced to Phil Hartman's character. As I said, excellent casting. He's Governor Robinson. You guys have undoubtedly seen Phil Hartman in many a thing.
You probably know him as from The Simpsons, most likely. He did a lot of voices on The Simpsons. He did Lionel Hutz.
He does Lionel's voice? That's funny.
That's why a lot of his characters, like after he died, they just stopped doing. So that's why there isn't like really Lionel Hutz anymore. There's more, but I'm not thinking of it right now. Yeah, Troy McClure. Yeah, exactly.
Troy McClure. Yes, he's also trifling ass Ted in Jingle All the Way, which I watch every year for around the holidays.
Like Jingle All the Way. He's the guy.
He's like the single dad in the neighborhood that like hits on all of the moms, whether they're married or not. The cookies, yeah. Oh, these cookies! All right, so we get this cut of the movie. It actually ends with Chris Elliott's camera getting jacked while he's out shooting narrative on the street.
It's like, oh man, the editor, he gave me the wrong cut. Yeah. And everyone gets pissed and they're like, oh, we got to go. And he's trying to keep them so they can continue the documentary to show them more, but they're all pissed off at him. You get the original, like at this point in the movie, because the movie kind of does like a Tarantino, we go back to the future to see how we got to present day. At this point, Dead Mike's a complete hotep. He's just like, why do we get the other man instead of a brother man?
Yeah, because the other man was cheaper, I think is what Trustus says. Yeah. Rip and Otis both leave. They're like, fuck this, but Gusto agrees to take a White with him. They hop in the YJ and just drive down the steps. Trustus, their manager, gets a call from the actual Gusto, who he stole the name from, saying like, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to kill all of CB4. And then he pops out behind them, starts chasing them. He's in a CJ, which is like intentionally a less cool Jeep than MC Gusto's. I appreciated that. You could tell by the square headlights on the YJ. Every single episode we shoot, I will find a way to talk about cars.
I'm not a car person. He's just saying letters to me.
There are actually some good cars in this movie. So Charlie Murphy pop out as Gusto and starts shooting at MC Gusto, Albert, and A. White, and the security and the camera guy.
I've never been shot at.
It's my first drive-by. Yeah, he's all excited.
I'm not shooting at you, they're shooting at me.
Yeah. They escape by getting on the freeway in rush hour traffic, and Gusto's like, what did he say?
He's like, I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid.
Yeah, I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. And then they just like sit in traffic shooting the documentary for a while, which is a great LA trope. This is when we get the first flashback to kind of Gusto's and the group's origin story.
So like in the movie right now, because they escape, now the mask is off for Albert, because he's just like, all right, like they're shooting at me. Okay, not a gangster anymore, not Gusto anymore. That's the real Gusto. All right, and then he even goes out of his like, I'm talking like Eazy-E, and then he goes like, all right, now I'm Albert.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that, but yeah, now you say it. So it flashes back to, I think it's like, a few years earlier.
Yeah.
Albert's at home with his girlfriend. They call her Dee.
I don't think I ever paid attention to what her name was.
All right, so we get our first flashback to Gusto's origin story. As Albert, he's at home with his girlfriend, Delia. She's called Dee in most of the movie. First detail I noticed, the couch is wrapped in plastic. That made me laugh. He's like, they're making out on the couch, but he's not paying any attention to her. His eyes are on the rap music on the TV. Mm-hmm. I think it cuts back to Chris Elliott for a second as he looks disappointed, and he says, was Stabmaster Arson also middle class? Like, he's like so bummed that Albert isn't actually like from the hood.
Yeah. Albert's dad tells him to turn the music off, and his girlfriend also tells him to turn the music off. But he's like, no, I like this music. His girlfriend's like, why don't we listen to Lenny Kravitz? And then right after that, they have like an MC Hammer like stand-in. His name is Wacky D, and he just has a song called I Can Dance, and the whole song is like, I can dance.
Yeah.
And there's like women in the background like being like, Wacky D. It's so dumb, but it's just like very much just when Wacky D comes on, everybody in the family who just hated all the rap music is all super excited, and they all start doing the Wacky D dance. Even the dad who just was hating. Which I think is a really funny stand-in for just like popular dance music. Like that was me. liked whatever gangster rap I was listening to, and I was just like, I hate Shake Your Laffy Taffy, or like,
right. The
when Soulja Boy
cut,
came out, I was just like, I hate this, and then I learned the dance, and I was like, this is great.
Yep. That's funny. Yeah, that was a timeless trope with Wacky D for sure, and he keeps popping up.
Yeah, Wacky D is actually the main antagonist in the actual movie. He's everybody's antagonist in this movie.
So after the was Stabmaster Arson also middle class, it cuts back to Albert picking up Otis. Otis is like the older brother to what looks like 5 or 6 sisters, man of the house, helping with homework, doing their hair. Very wholesome, not very Stabmaster Arson. I also love that he picks him up, and we get this side shot of Albert's 77 Lincoln Continental turning, and there's like pieces falling off of it and rattling around before the money come, And then they go to pick up Euripides, Rip, Dead Mike, who works at a 900 number
call center. So wait, all right, we're gonna put 30 seconds on the clock now. There are 4 different 100 numbers that they are. They're all 4-letter acronyms, or not acronyms, but 4-letter words going now. Do you remember what they were?
No, I didn't notice that.
Just going off of do you remember anything about what they were talking about?
The first one was just like regular phone sex.
Yep. Sexy.
The second one was a woman pretending to pee in a bucket.
Piss.
Nice. The third one was a dude just getting yelled at, dissed. That diss, I remember that one. And then I don't remember what was on Rip's door, but Rip is like having phone sex, licking balls.
Yeah, so.
What was the fourth one?
It was gays.
Gays?
He's just like, yeah, I'm licking your balls.
Best balls I ever had.
He's like, yeah. His introduction in the movie is his friends show up and he's on the phone on his phone sex job, and he's like, yeah, I'm licking your balls. He hates his job.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, this is the biggest balls I ever seen. They're just big balls. Yeah. So this isn't a job for a black man. And you can start seeing the seeds of his hotep.
Yes, yeah. He's also wearing a really sick old Howard University hoodie.
I also like Al's jacket in the scenes where I don't know what it is. I tried to see
I couldn't even read what it said,
but it was cool.
It is very sick.
It's like a Letterman jacket
kind of style, yeah. I'm sure you can find them on eBay for some crazy amount of money now. Let's see.
So you got the gang together. So the gang, they're all kind of rappers.
But that's all they want to be.
That's all
they're
want.
not really. But
yeah. So they're like, oh, where should we go next? Oh, we can go perform at Gusto's. So Gusto is a local gangster, but he also has a club that allows like hip hop showcases, and they say it's the only place in the area that allows hip hop acts. So they go there to like do their acts, and like they were unsuccessful at different times of their life. What were the names of
Mad Bohemians, Bagheads where they're wearing shower caps, and Overweight Lovers with fat suits.
Yeah.
They also they like lip sync rap to a Run DMC tape in the car on the way there, which was great because they're like arguing over who gets to be who, and then the tape sucks, so it slows down, and he's like lip syncing slow mo, and then it speeds up, and they're lip syncing fast.
Which is really funny because nowadays, like, yeah, that's another one of those things that's just lost in the past. Like Maceo, have you ever like listened to anything on cassette?
Yeah.
But he's cool though.
How old are you?
24.
20. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do a poll. If you're under the age of 25.
My little sister used to collect vinyl records.
Okay. Vinyl's cool. Vinyl's always.
Vinyl has different problems. The skipping, it goes back, but like
the version for our generation burning CDs was like you had to sit through the LimeWire tags.
Oh no! Even before that,
whichever DJ like ripped it and put it on the internet, and it's like
even before that, I used to. What I would do, my mom bought us like we had boom boxes. And they had record, so I would listen to the radio, and then when a favorite song of mine would come on, I would just hit record on the cassette, and I would make my own mixtapes, and then you could just re-record over them. So that was my original. So that aesthetic hits me really hard because I remember like you would eventually it would get eaten up.
It would start
and
wearing
then
out.
Once
yeah.
it got bad, like you would have to. I also learned that like you could press the play button in a certain way to make it go fast or slow, which was like an unintentional hack. So all that was like, I love that.
The genesis of Debo.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing they also liked is how they were like, when they were deciding to do whatever, that's just like me and you going through Cheney doing a Grove Street party. Yep. You're Lil Wayne, I'm Lil B. Yeah, do my thing, bitch. What's up? Young bass God came in with the ballers.
Ice out chain.
Yeah. Thank you, bass God.
Yeah, thank you, bass God. Spokane Division Street Cannon.
Yeah, exactly. The cannon.
Me and Ugie rolling around in my Golf, screaming Lil Wayne at the top of our lungs.
They were good times.
I'm glad you have that note.
So
we get to Gusto's.
Yeah, they're at Gusto's, and the group now, they haven't performed today, but when they get there, Trestus is, Gusto sees Sissy and tries to hook up with her, but she's just like, I only get with rappers.
Right.
And so she just kind of was immediately just like, I don't want anything to do with you. You're not a rapper. And then Trestus is just like, hey, can we get Wacky D in here?
Yeah.
which Gusto was immediately like, fuck that.
No, Gusto wants to book Wacky D.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he's asking Trestus, like,
get
Wacky D in here or I'll fucking kill you.
I had it backwards, yeah. And instead, all he has is Chris Rock's little trio, who's the Baghead Boys.
Right. Yeah.
And so after this, they're like, "Oh, hey, could we open up for Wacky D?" And he starts yelling at Al for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And when the other two see that he's getting yelled at, Euripides comes up to defend him. At which point Gusto flips the table and stands up. And if we can get a picture, we need a screenshot. The woman on the left who was holding champagne, I don't think that was improvised. I mean, I think that
she didn't
scene
know
was
that the table was flipping.
I think she was freaking. If you see it, like it's not something that I've noticed before. I saw it just now. Her face, she's just like.
That's great. I also love, like, right before it shows them getting thrown out of Gusto's, Rip has this like, brother, you seem easily upset. Excellent delivery. Yeah, we should introduce Sissy better too, because she's a very key character in this movie. Yeah. We meet her
Candy
in the dressing
Alexander
room with Otis.
Damn. Also, Candy Alexander, if you're watching this for whatever reason, holler at your boy. You are an absolute beautiful woman. Shout out you. You're a black queen.
You know what I recognized her from?
What?
Couples Retreat. Have you seen that movie?
Seen that movie, no.
It's Jon Favreau, Vince Vaughn. I forget the actor's name. He's the manager at Gimbel's and Elf. That big black dude. Anyway.
Ving Rhames. Faison, yeah.
My man.
I've never seen that.
Also in that movie.
Yeah, it is an excellent movie. Yes, genre known for The Professional. Yeah. Thank you, Leon. Yeah. Anyway, she plays like she shows up at the very end of the movie, and that's like the only thing that I remember seeing her in. So like when she popped up, I was like, oh, hey, it's the wife from Couples Retreat.
Sissy is like essentially a video vixen, but not really. She's like a higher level one. She basically gets she likes rappers, but what she does is she's like a ebony dommy mommy. So she gets them into like these compromising situations and takes pictures of them. But for the guys, it's worth the humiliation just to get with her. Right. She is fine.
Yeah, and she's using it. She like tells a couple of girls later like if you're just getting sex out of it, you're a hoe. Like I get houses, cars, money, jewels.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's an OnlyFans model from 1993.
Exactly.
I love ebony dommy mommy.
Yeah. Please.
All right, so after getting thrown out, the guys convince Albert that he needs to go back and apologize because it's the only place that they can rap, the only place they can perform.
Which he didn't do anything wrong, actually.
Right.
It was actually.
Brother, you seem easily upset. Yeah. So Al comes back to apologize, and as soon as he walks in the door, the cops bust in behind him, and I think on the street he had talked to one of the cops who was
the
like
cop asked him what time it was.
Yeah, and so
just haphazardly,
the cop's like, oh, he's fine, he's not one of them. Like, and so immediately Gusto's like, okay, Albert set me up.
Well, it wasn't only that. What happened is if I only clocked this I rewatched it again today, and so when that happens, I don't remember his name, but like Gusto's side,
voice box
guy, voice box guy, he's
40.
looking through like the seeing box right when that happens.
Yeah.
So that's why he sees that he's talking to him. So that's why he assumes he says something like, "Oh yeah, he was talking to the police."
It was something 40 with the voice box. 40 dog or
40 Dog. I hope his name actually is 40 Dog and you're not just saying that.
40 Dog.
Yeah, it is 40 Dog.
It's 40 Dog. Okay.
Just preying on your downfall.
I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth at some point. Not this
Not
time.
today.
Not
what
today.
What do we say to the god of death?
So Gusto assumes Albert is the one who set him up. The cops are dragging him out like as if he's fucking
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter.
They got him in a straitjacket.
Yeah. The hood loves Gusto. Like everyone's like booing the cops, like chanting to get Gusto released.
Which is why it's hilarious that that Al can just steal his identity and everyone's just like, yeah,
that's MC Gusto. All right.
He's paying homage.
Yes, and so Gusto's arrested. We cut to a restaurant called Big Ass Biscuit, and they literally had biscuits like this big that look really good.
And there's like a whole block of butter on top of it.
Yeah, there was a whole stick of butter, and it's steaming. I was like, dang, I was watching this at like 7 a.m, wishing I could have a biscuit.
Wood.
That's a clip. Let's see. They decide that they're going to become.
Yeah, earlier Trusted said something like, hey, like you guys can rap, but you don't have anything that I can market. So like he basically says, get a gimmick and come back.
Right.
So at this point, Al comes up with a scheme. He's like, hey, we can just steal Gusto's identity and we can just be gangster rappers.
Right.
At first, Euripides is not with this, but I think he kind of sees some guy. They're at a diner, and there's a guy behind them and interrupts them and is just like, "Hey, are you on the radio or something?" He's like, "Nah." He's like, "Do you do like a phone line? Your voice sounds familiar." Yeah. And he's like, "You know what? Actually, let's do this." That's a quick reminder of what his current job is.
Right.
He was just like, "You know what? Actually, let's steal his identity."
Yep. So they go about adopting the gangster rap look, feel. We see them buying jail clothes off of people in jail. They're at the barbershop getting Jerry curls. Rip's like, fuck that, I'm not getting a Jerry curl.
And this was like one of the early messages in the movie when they go to Trestus, who is the record exec, who's supposed to be what I presume like a Berry Gordy character. He right before they sign the contract, he asks, "Do you cuss on your records?" They're like, "Yep." "Do you defile women with your lyrics?" "Yep." "Do you fondle your genitalia on stage?" They're like, "Yep." "Do you glorify violence and advocate for the use of guns?" "Do you respect anything at all?" And they're like, "Nope." He's like, sign
here.
And I was just like, damn, message.
So after they sign with Trustus, we get to see them shooting their first music video, and it cuts and they're like kind of hanging around set, and we get introduced to a few different characters. One of which is Baba Ak.
Baba Ak is like a Pan-Africanist that's trying to sell these books that will get a boat for Africans to go back to Africa. What I would presume is. What is it, like Liberia or something?
Sure.
But he's sure. But he's basically just.
I've heard of Liberia.
Yeah. It's like with the genesis of. I think a lot of these movies back then, this was much of a bigger thing of like the kufi wearing. Let's go back to Africa, brother. We don't eat pork. Like maybe like 5%ish. Maybe not 5%er because that's Muslim, but like they don't really say. But Al Gusto at this point is like, nah, I'm not with this. But you can see that the seeds have already been planted there for Dead Mike, and he's like, yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah. And well, first he's just going to take the book because he thinks it's free. Yeah. He's like, oh, it's $14.95, brother.
Plus tax. Then I believe we cut to Sissy, who's schooling those two girls, where like you said previously, where they're like, oh, like I had my titty in, what was it? She's like, I had my titty in like Eric B. and Rakim's video. And she's like, yeah, well, I had my ass in somebody's video. And Sissy's just like, well, like it's all good if you're in the videos and you just fuck for free, but if you really want to make something of yourself, you get them into compromising positions, take pictures of them, and make them. She's like, it's all good for them to take you out, but if you really want to make it, get your own car, take yourself out, do your own hair, which is like your own house. It's a great lesson, and the girls are just like,
they're like, I'm gonna go back to hoeing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier.
On the complete opposite side of the spectrum, we also meet Eve, who's a reporter, played by Teresa Randall.
Is she the same from Head of State, the one that's like...
No, they do look similar. Okay. But she's Marcus's wife in Bad Boys.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. I knew she was super familiar, and I couldn't put... Yeah.
Very 93 hair. The shortcut, swept back bangs.
She's also a black queen.
She's great in this. Mm-hmm. Like... does not take any shit. Like Al is immediately calling her like bitch or whatever. Yeah. And she's like, command of the English language, I think, gets dropped somewhere in her rant. She just like sets him right down.
And she's like, hey, she basically says like, hey, I'm like a good reporter and you can treat me with respect. We can do these interviews and I'll say whatever you want me to say that will boost your career, or I can really dig into you. And she says something like, I'll bring up so much stuff your mom will disown you. So how do you want to start, Albert? Yeah. And by calling him Albert, she's signifying, hey, I know who you really are. Right. I can expose you. And he runs away. Al Gusto runs away, to which Dead Mike's like, I love you. Yep. At this point, he's already annoyed with him so much. This is like all of my friends with me. I'm just like, please, just get Ugo. Make him shut the fuck up for once.
If there is one theme in every group chat, it's down with Ugie.
Yeah, exactly. I just love the name Baba Ak. Yeah. It's so... I don't want to upset anybody because I don't know if it means anything. It just sounds ridiculous to me.
If you add a couple of letters and another word, it's Baba Black Sheep. Yeah, and that feels intentional.
I also really like at the beginning when they're first done with the cut, the director goes up to Otis. I can't remember his Stab Master Arson, and he's just like, "Good job," and he's like, just walks off. Yeah, he's like, "Oh,"
goes for the high five. Yeah.
Man, I love that street attitude. I love that street I don't give a fuck attitude. It's so real.
And then he doesn't give a fuck at him, yeah. So then we kind of get this like montage of their singles topping the charts. They have succeeded in their mission of getting large. And then after the chart topping, we cut to Weird Warren's video countdown.
Shout out Tommy Davidson.
Yep. And they're talking about the group. I can't remember if Warren says anything particularly important. Oh, it cuts to the governor, right? He kind of intros the governor having a problem with the group. So after the montage of their singles topping the charts, we cut over to a show called Weird Warren's Video Countdown.
Shout out to Tommy Davidson.
He kind of tees up this conflict with the Governor Robinson. We cut to the governor's son, Ben, in his room watching MTV, loving this music. First time he's ever heard it, probably just like the youth being corrupted by gangster rap.
I also love that when we cut to, I guess he's governor, or they don't really say what he is, but he's somehow in politics.
Yeah, I think he's running for governor. Maybe
he's running, but he already has power because he can stop stuff. So he's already in politics. And on his desk, there's like a picture of him and Reagan here. Then as they zoom out, there's another picture of Reagan on the wall. So he's heavily Republican coded. And then so he's on the phone trying to discuss like his re-election bid, and his son comes and is like, "Hey, Dad, like let me show you this," and he's just like, "Ah, shut up! Like I'm working." He's like, "Ah," and so we get J.D. Daniels. I love how you pointed out. Yeah, who was he? He was
Peter in the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah,
the backwards hat wearing kid in Mighty Ducks.
Really nice eyes.
Yeah,
and we get one of the best performances in the movie where he does straight out of Locash. He does Dead Mike's verse, and he definitely says "nigga." He's
he
like
does.
a 10-year-old white kid.
I noticed it. Yeah, it pops.
And he kills that shit.
Yeah.
And he's like spins around.
Flat on your back. Yeah.
He turns around. He's like, "I give us a crack. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your mom's is at?" He's just like,
yeah.
It's so good.
Arguably better performance of the song than Chris Rock at any point.
It's just the smile on his face. He did a really good job of acting as like an overly eager kid that's just really into this music.
Yeah.
Because
he probably did love hip hop, like as a little kid in '93.
The smile on his face while he's doing it, like he just got authorization to say the N-word in a movie. Like he got the ultimate get away with it. Like, Chris Rock's in the movie.
That's true.
He's an actor.
I was gonna say he probably didn't go to class.
Yeah, he probably didn't have a ton of friends. Like.
Or he was in a school with a bunch of other acting kids.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't mean that like in a rude way, but I mean like if like
a lot of child actors don't go to school, they have tutors on set, or like I know Jason Bateman went to all kinds of like weird schools because he was on Little House of the Prairie at the
Alicia
time.
Cuthbert, my mom, I'm pretty sure taught her at one point, but like she was never in school because she was a child actor.
I did not mean
she
to
went
make
to my
that
mom's high
noise.
school.
I had Alicia Cuthbert wallpaper on my modded Xbox back in the day.
She was in that one. What was that movie?
Girl Next Door.
Yeah. Oh man.
Whew.
And she was on 24. She was Jack Bauer's daughter.
That's right. Yes. Oh, she popped up in something not too long ago.
I wish she was at my house.
I loved Alicia Cuthbert. My God. Anyway, before I get myself in more trouble.
Shout out Sarah.
I feel like I was watching Love Actually, which Alicia Cuthbert shows up in, and I told Coley like, man, I had her wallpaper on my Xbox. She's like, yeah, okay. I probably say that every year when we watch Love Actually.
So like after you see Ben performing this, it shoots over to prison, and now we get Gusto seeing the boys pretending to be essentially
like a
pretending to be
caricature,
them from Cell Block 4, actually.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I mean, that's a presumption. I don't think they actually ever said that, but I think that's where he was in jail, so I don't know if he actually was on Cell Block 4. But he's not happy about it at all. And some people are just like, "Hey, we didn't know you were into rapping." And it's just like, the other friend's like, "Bro, he's here. That's not him." But then after that, we go back to Weird Warren's video show, and they're doing
video,
and they're doing interviews. And so the group gets asked questions by a bunch of people. One of the first questions is to Otis, and I just love that he's just straight up a gooner. He's in the interview, like reading a dirty magazine.
Most scenes we see Otis in this movie, he's holding a nudie mag.
Yeah, I want to shoot back to the first scene where they are doing DMX in the car, or Run DMC. I'm just, my mind's in DMX right now. I can't wait for DMX Christmas. But he does this thing. So he's reading a magazine in the back of the car, and he's doing this thing with his tongue that I can't. He's doing this like,
which he does again at the end of the movie.
And so now we're here at this interview, and he's not even paying attention. He's just got this, like, it says like the biggest ass issue.
Yeah, something like that.
What it says? It says Ebony Ass Magazine, world's sexiest, plumpiest asses inside, and dangerous rear ends. Facts.
Facts.
I mean, yeah, as you do. I like that Dead Mike. He's like transforming into the Hotep now, and he's just like, peace to all the Nubians filled with the new black consciousness. And I need to say that more often.
Yeah, that's the new intro to this podcast. Peace to all the Nubians.
Yeah, that's your
Exactly.
Yeah, there's the catchphrase.
That's your cutout line.
Yeah. Peace to all the Nubians. Mine is revolution. Take care. Baba Ag is also there. Like, he's just a groupie now. He hangs out with them all the time.
I also, somehow I don't remember how it gets brought up, but something about ice cream gets mentioned, and then it's just like undercover, it's just like Conspiracy Brother.
With the kufi.
Yeah, he's just like, did you know a black man, like the way he says, did you know a black man invented ice cream? And then Gusto's just like, how did a black man invent ice cream in hot-ass Africa? And Tommy Davidson's just like, oh yeah, ice cream, Africa, that's a good question. Gusto calls, and then Gusto calls from jail, and he's just like, hey, I got a question for you. What would you do if someone stole your identity and then while you were in jail, was out rapping, pretending to be you? What would you do to them? And he freaks out and runs away.
Yep, Al runs away.
While they're being filmed.
Yeah. And this is the point where Gusto escapes, handcuffed to another prisoner. I thought it was really funny. They're sneaking into a laundry bin to get taken out of the jail, and there's like someone already in the laundry bin escaping. He's like, get out of there. He's like, hey, I'm in this one. He's like, get the fuck out of there.
The group's just going on tour now.
Yeah, so the group's on tour. We kind of cut to a hotel lobby scene. Al just sucks.
Yeah.
Like, this is the point where he's like fully succumbed to like believing he's the shit, believing he's MC Gusto. He's like super rude to Delia to the point that she leaves.
He's like drinking a 40 and it's like the middle of the day.
He's drinking a 40, like offering it to her. She's like, I don't want that shit. He's like, more for me. Like, total.
They have this little like, they have this like little like montage where he's like in his brain like about like being in love, and Dee's running through a field towards him. He's running in the field towards her, but then he falls, and then when he comes back to, he starts like kissing the 40. He's like, he's lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
I also like that Dead Mike is getting progressively more Hotep. He's like, pork is the white man.
Oh yeah, he's going off about why
the white man is pork. Spell pork backwards. It spells
spell white man backwards. What does it spell? Pork.
If you don't get that, then they brainwashed you.
Yep.
So we get back to traffic.
Oh yeah, we cut back into present day, the interview with Chris Elliott. Every time we cut back to LA traffic, there's different people in the car next to them, like usually like dancing to music of some kind.
This time it's just like two dudes just rocking out
just
with like
head banging, peak Nirvana years. And then we cut to Virgil having a press conference. So Governor Virgil, Phil Hartman, like having a press conference condemning this music outside of the Sacramento venue where they're about to be playing the next day. This is the scene where I was like, Phil Hartman is perfect. Like the way he like does the politician hand gestures and like the cadence. Like he's clearly played politicians on SNL a dozen times by this point. It's just great. You noted a great line that he has. Any person who would defile America's pastime by wearing a baseball cap backwards, well, that's an evil that speaks for itself. Which immediately the tour bus pulls in and his son Ben puts a hat on backwards, rips off his like suit and tie he's wearing like straight out of Low Cash. Yeah. He's like running over to get an autograph.
I also love that. So he runs over to get an autograph, and Stab Master Arson gives him an autograph, and then he gives him an autograph on like a nude magazine.
Yeah.
And so Governor Virgil immediately takes it away from his son, and he's like, ah! And then he's like looking at it. It's like an ebony magazine, and then he's just like, And then his son is like looks over, and he snaps back to it. He's like.
I know, and like Ben's eyes are like, what the? We get a reporter asking Al about Delia, and he's like, oh no, that's my cousin, and that's like the final straw. She's like, I'm out of here. which gets us to the point where Al can actually hook up with Sissy. And we get a hilarious back and forth scene of Rip having sex with Sissy and Al having sex with Sissy, and just
like
complete
a montage
mirror.
Of both of them.
Yeah, like whatever is like hot and going well for Rip is like patronizing and embarrassing for Al. It's like she's carrying him to the bed. And this is like one of many jokes about like how small he is. Like earlier in the movie, she says that like small men drown in this pussy. Or like
she's just talking to Delilah, and she was like, "Oh,
he's too
cute.
small.
Yeah, he's too small for me." I also just love, like I said in the Undercover Brother episode, we got
The doll?
a beautiful doll. Like at the very end of the climax, I guess pun intended. Like you get like Alan Payne is just like banging her real hard against
like on the balcony.
Like, on a balcony, and then it cuts to Chris Rock, and she's like banging him, and then it gets progressively more violent, and then they cut to like a puppet, and she's just
shaking the hell out of this doll. That was definitely intentional, though. Unlike like Undercover Brother, where it was like, oh, stunt dummy. Like this was like we cut to this dummy out of pure comedy for like a second and then cut away. It was that like I had to pause it. I was laughing so hard at that point.
And so the crew now it's like the next day, and they're doing a show in Sacramento. But Phil Hartman, Governor Virgil's like, hey, like if you're going to perform tonight, you have these rules. You can't.
I didn't write them down.
I didn't write them down either. Let's see if I can remember them. He was like, you can't say blowjob unless you're referring to blowing up, like blowing balloons, or like animal like stuff. He's like, you can't say bitch unless you're referring to a dog, and only if it's in heat. No fondling of your balls or grabbing of your genitalia, and you can't perform the song "Sweat of My Balls," which I thought was all right because we get to the next scene and they're at the concert. And this concert looks sick. They're doing the whole aesthetic that they're like in jail.
Yeah, it's like a jailhouse with like guards with shotguns. That was sick.
It was cool. You got Stab Master Arson. He's like manning the set. And then you get Dead Mike. And this very dramatic Dead Mike and Gusto. They're like chained and just like doing a scene of just like for like crimes of like being too raw and like all this stuff. You guys are sentenced to life in CB4, and then they break into song.
Yeah, break out of the chains.
Yeah, they break out.
Song, yeah,
super cool. And then they're performing "Sweat from My Balls," which is not "Sweat of My Balls." And I think in perfect legalese, they didn't perform the song that he said, but they're getting into it. But then they get to the hook, they're just like "Sweat from my balls," and you see, Trustus is just having the best time in the back, and then Governor I was going to say Governor Abloh because I'm thinking Virgil Abloh, but whatever. Governor Virgil
could not be a less Virgil Abloh character in any movie.
I mean, R.I.P. Virgil Abloh though, but he gets really pissed when they go and arrest.
They arrest them for free speech.
Yeah.
Rip him off the stage for constitutionally protected free speech.
I think they said that they're decency laws. That's what they got them for.
Yeah, right,
so he said, decency laws. It was just really funny after that. It was like after they arrest the rappers, you see Trustus trying to keep the show going. So he gets up, he's just like, "Oh, your hands in the air!" From like you just, and the people like throwing bottles at him.
Yeah. So they go to jail. They spend a night in jail. I think we get the voiceover of Al telling A. White like, CB4 actually did spend a night in jail.
Yeah, and he does a poem from jail
written on toilet paper.
He's like, what he said, I didn't do it or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Gusto, also known as 97-KY-LMNOP-14 to the third. But getting arrested pushes them to the top of the charts, and they finally passed Wacky D. So like now they're like the biggest like stars in America, presumably, at least rap stars.
And they get out. They have a press conference on the steps of the courthouse as they're getting released. Also cracked me up. Rip says that he's gonna help like uplift the black economy by opening a chain of beeper supply stores and only hire disenfranchised youth. Mm-hmm. Beeper supply stores that aged super well.
We also got that one scene where we did get the one of, I guess, maybe there's a couple, like a direct fourth wall break where the next day after the show when they get released, Ben has the newspaper clipping of them going to the top of the charts, and he has it on his
door,
his bedroom door, and his dad comes and rips it off, but then he looks to the camera and goes, and then opens his door and it's just like filled with
like
CB4
stuff everywhere. So that now all of the events are up to present day with the documentary. No more flashbacks at this point.
So he's just like, okay, so that's where
Al
we
goes
are now.
back home.
Yeah.
His family's all sitting around in the living room. I'm assuming little sister or cousin or somebody is like reading aloud to the family, and the grandma has the funniest line of the film. She says, "Shut up, girl. You just think you're so smart because you can read."
That one gets me every single time. I know it's coming, and it always makes me crack up.
And then she's like so sweet to Albert. She's like, "Sit the fuck down." And
she's like, "Is the conjugal room still green?" He's like, "I don't know, Grandma. We were only there one night." And she's like, "You need to know." Nasty.
He tries to make up with Dee, who's there hanging out with his family, even though he's not there anymore.
I think they're throwing a party because they got out of jail.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And we get a really good scene between him and his dad, where Al is like starting to question his choices and kind of where he's at, and he goes out to talk to his dad, who's washing his rescue rooter truck, and very similar to the
Undercover Brother.
No, I was gonna say Friday. When like his dad is like y'all ain't shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm from the streets. You're not from the streets. I thought like that was a really good scene.
But I think it does have similarities to that in which the main character kind of loses their sense of self in this pursuit of
getting large.
Yeah, getting large, whatever it may be. And his dad's really, I think he sees that something's wrong with him, but he's just like, I raised you better than this. Why are you ashamed of and I think the music goes to go say that. And I think, that speaks to me because I used to do gangster rap and I was raised very well.
And your dad's like, Vinny's like, why are you doing this?
My mom's like one of the both of my parents are very highly educated. But my mom was just like, yeah, keep making music.
Yeah, right.
She was like, my mom was always the most supportive of my music. She was just like, she'd be like, you didn't pronounce that super well. Like, you need to do this. My mom's supportive as fuck. So yeah. None of them ever criticized me on that, from that angle. But I get it. If you're actually from the streets, though, I can imagine why that's like 100% is like,
right. He's
like,
I worked
so hard to get out of there.
Yeah, I worked hard to get out of it, and you're cosplaying that's where you're from.
It's cosplaying our pain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought that was a great scene. I didn't catch the actor's name that plays his dad.
It's funny because most of the scenes with him are just him being antagonistic to his son.
Yeah, which is like pretty realistic.
Yeah. At the end of the party, then. Gusto, the real Gusto, and 40 Dog are hiding in his room, so they kidnap him, and then in order to like traumatize him now, they take him and force him to rob like a record store. And he's like, oh look, it's me, it's MC Gusto. So like they got him on camera, like they only lift up his face out of like the ski mask, so like there's evidence. I always love right here. Charlie Murphy, like they're stealing the money out of the register, and then he finds the VCR where the security cam is. He's like, ha! Evidence! I don't know why.
It like shows it to the people that are like laying on the floor.
I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it always makes me laugh.
Yeah. And they basically tell him like, break up the group or we're putting the tape out to like all of the media. He even says like to Connie Chung, which made me laugh. That was like
Also, just as a side, did you know that Connie Chung's married to Maury Povich?
Really? Like still?
Yeah. I just found that out like a couple of days ago. I was watching like an interview with Maury, and just this whole side thing about how him and Connie Chung have just been happily married for like 30 years, and it's super wholesome.
Right. I wonder if Maury's the father.
Yeah, he definitely got divorced from his wife and then married her. So I don't know if it's super wholesome, but I mean, you know. Maury's a G though. Shout out Maury, friend of the podcast, honestly.
Dude, I grew up on Maury almost as much as I grew up on these movies we're talking about.
Maybe more.
Yeah. There was a lot more volume of Maury.
Yeah, exactly. If I was sick, I was hanging out with Maury. Yeah. Shout out Maury Povich, and it's a great Lil B song as well. Yeah,
of course. So Al and the gang go back to was it Big Ass Biscuit?
Yeah.
And for a secret meeting that the other two bring everyone with. So Trustus and Sissy are there. Baba Ak is there.
And like all of their entourage.
Yeah, the whole entourage. And Al's breaking up the group, pretending like he's too big for them. I don't know why he didn't just like tell them like, yo, we got to break up or else Gusto's going to get me sent to jail for life.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because he's still too deep. Everyone's still too deep in their personas.
Yeah. So they decide to break up the group. Dead Mike again wearing a sick fit.
Yeah. So then after the group is broken up, Al just goes into like a deep depression and just
He's drinking a 90 instead of a 40.
Yeah, he's drinking a 90 and smoking crack.
Yep.
And the other two go on and like their careers are successful. It was really funny because Sarah was watching me watch this and she comes in like right when he's smoking crack and then and she's just like, oh, so like their careers are just keep going better and his career just ended. And I was like, well, kind of, but not. She like didn't get any of the context. Yeah. She just like watched like 30 minutes of the movie, left, and then came back. And I was like, I want you to know so much more.
And we also get to see Dead Mike's single, which I was. This is when Coley came downstairs from like getting out of bed this morning to. I'm black, y'all.
And I'm black, y'all. Dying. And I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, and black, y'all. Yeah, I'm black and I'm black. Yeah, you seen it? Yeah, it's from this movie. It's oh my god.
We got to edit in at least a small.
I don't know. I think it's worth risking the DCMA.
Yeah,
if we could put a clip in because.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back.
This is the best part of the movie. Like the hardest I laughed the whole movie because of the delivery of it.
He's just staring
straight at the camera.
Exactly.
Just
not at the camera, at you.
Yeah, into your soul.
And then Stabmaster Arson's just DJing. So both of them glow up.
His act is called Silent But Deadly.
Yeah.
And it's like a sick DJ set with dancers.
Well, I think this is, and I alluded to this earlier in our conversation, but actually I feel like Al was the only one who was pretending. Euripides actually wanted to, he was right. He was like, this job isn't what I want to do, and he latched on to Pan-Africanism. I don't think it was necessarily a destructive thing. He might have turned it into a little bit of a trope, but that's actually who he was. And Euripides, at every single point, I think even when they break up the group, he's just like, man, I just wanted to meet bitches and
Otis,
listen to music. Yeah. I mean, maybe their names were fake, but he's like, I was just in this for the girls and for...
to make sick music and have
like
honeys.
If it's not that, I don't really want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's really Al who's the one who's
he's like, I'm going to be Gusto and we're going to be gangsters. Yeah, that's true. They were 2/3 keeping it real, to go back to the tagline.
I just want to go back. That was always it's a throwback or like maybe like they're doing an homage to New Jack City because Alan Payne was also in New Jack City.
Oh, he was?
He was a part. Have you ever seen New Jack City?
I've seen parts of it with Axl.
Okay, we got to do it on this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe that'll be the Axl episode.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Alan Payne is a part of that movie, and Chris Rock is a crackhead in that movie. And so, like, they're definitely kind of, like, doing, like, a shout out to that movie a little bit. Yeah, and
this came out, they started shooting this, like, right after New Jack came out.
Yeah, which is why I also believe Ice-T at the beginning of the movie, I think there's some sort of connection. Could have been random, but I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. So we find Al giving up the crack, apparently.
He's just on his parents' plastic covered couch, smoking crack
and drinking a 90 of tap.
Just sad.
But we find Al kind of coming back to himself, no longer doing the Gusto thing.
He tells his dad, I don't want to do this anymore. And then he takes off the fake Jerry curl hat.
Yeah. And we get a cut of him going to bed, and he's like gonna jerk off to a magazine and like lotions up. And he's like, nah, and then just like peacefully goes to sleep.
All right, so next we get, after he falls asleep and he decides not to jerk off, he goes to the hip hop retirement home, and it's just a bunch of like old rappers that are there. He's like, oh, hey, Queen Latifah.
We need to clarify this is a dream.
Yeah, this is a dream. I did.
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay, what? Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool.
We can keep all of this in.
Yeah.
Take 4. All right. So after he decides to not jerk off, he falls asleep almost instantly, which I wish I could do. And then he has a dream where he's at the hip hop retirement home. And so immediately he sees like Queen Latifah, and he's like,
it's like this old woman shuffling by. He's like, Queen Latifah.
He goes into this room, and someone on the piano is actually, they're playing
Try a Little Tenderness by Otis Redding.
Yeah, exactly. Try a Little Tenderness by Otis Redding, which just like I heard like that little from this reminded me of the Otis. Well, it is the sample for the Otis song in Watch the Throne. But pretty much this whole scene is just people are talking shit about CB. They're like, remember CB4? Yeah, there was some perpetrators. And he's just really sad because he's thinking, oh man, my legacy, like people are just going to remember me as a fake. So then he wakes up and he's just kind of...
There's also a shot of Flava Flav in the retirement home. And like, it's not him, it's like an old man playing him, but the clock has gotten like gigantic.
Also, somehow this old man who's playing Flava Flav looks a million times better than Flava Flav.
Yes, yeah.
Like, I don't know how that's even possible.
The clock was a premonition, but like not so much like how healthy this old Flava Flav looked.
Which, yeah, this is 1993, so it's actually hilarious. Yeah. But... So at this point, the next day, Dead Mike, or at this point, Euripides calls Al, and Al's still kind of like being a little bit of a dick to him. But he's like, hey, all right, cousin, it's not time for this. He's just like, Trustus is dead. So he explains to him that Gusto iced Trustus, but when they actually show like what happened, Gusto comes into a nice restaurant where...
Like pulls a gun.
Where Trustus and Sissy are eating. He pulls a gun and he starts choking on his food. And like everyone's just like, oh, you know how to do CPR? No. And they're all trying to like do CPR on him. Yeah. And they're like...
They're doing the Heimlich wrong. And then they just like watch him die on the floor. And they're like, oh.
Dies. So then we cut to the funeral. And Sissy has... like hair that's like a veil that like she's like crying
another girl's
over
carrying her weave.
Yeah. Just someone's carrying it like it's a veil.
Trustus is also like he's open casket on the cell phone dead, like, and the phone rings at one point during the service.
Wacky D pulls up.
Oh, that was supposed to be Wacky D?
Yeah, no, okay. Wacky D pulls up and punches him in the face and gives him a black eye and says, you still owe me money, motherfucker. And I actually thought that was the same character that was Pootie Tang, but no, it's not. It's just this guy named Stoney Jackson. I think in that particular scene, he looks just like Pootie Tang, but he's not. He says, I don't care about to give your ass mouth to mouth and revive your black ass. I want my money. And then he's just like, all right, rest in peace. And it causes a commotion. No one stops him.
Yep. And so the guys they step outside. Al asks them to step outside and talk, and they kind of reconcile, and they're like, we got to do something about Gusto. You know, we got to get out of this somehow. And Al hatches a plan. We don't really get to find out what it is yet.
But it's essentially like a sting operation. Sissy goes to a hotel, invites the real Gusto over, and she's like, oh, I'm really going to give you some finally.
Yeah.
And so he gets super excited. He comes over there. We get a really horny scene where he's like, oh, you're finally ready for the big dick, huh? And she's like, oh yeah, but let me slip into something more comfortable. But before she does that, she like gets down on the ground and does the splits and shows how flexible she is.
And it's her too.
Yeah.
It's not a double.
Yeah. And this is, for this episode, I would have folded. We can do another thing here. We can keep this in, but we can have like our own little like tagline where it's just like Ugo would have folded.
Yeah, Ugo would have folded. Yep, across the bottom.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, she does this thing where she brings her leg up here, and she's just like, all right, and she goes in, and then they do like a switcheroo basically, and
but Gusto is like, he's like punching with dumbbells, and then this is like probably my third favorite part where I just started cracking up. It just cuts to him like on an exercise bike all of a sudden in the hotel room.
Just he's just
I'm
warming
gonna get some pussy. I'm gonna get some pussy. I'm gonna get some pussy.
She finally comes out to give him some, but it's actually not Sissy. It's Al dressed up in like
pink fuzzy lingerie.
It's terrible.
It's very uncomfortable.
Dave Chappelle, man, it's just another black man in a dress. God damn, it's so bad. He tries to reach for a gun, but Albert's too quick and shoots and is like, hey, don't do it. Police come in and arrest Gusto, and then we get a horrifying scene where, because the group all reconciles, like, yeah, we did it, and then there's like fanfare, and then Al and Otis are looking at each other, and this just kind of starts playing the I need love, and they start imagining
they're like about to make out.
Yeah, about to make out, because Al's wearing like full lingerie, and Otis is such a gooner that his mind is, that's the joke. He's such a gooner that his mind is gone. He's like, yeah. And then he starts doing the tongue thing.
Yeah.
And then they're like about to kiss, and they're like, nah. Comedy.
Yep. And that's basically it. We cut back to Gusto's for, them putting on a final show, kind of without the trappings, no pun
I mean,
intended.
they're still CB4, but they're just, because I think, Dead Mike's still wearing the bandana. Mm-hmm. They're still CB4, it's just that he's not, pretty much like I was saying, nothing changes outside of Al pretending to be Gusto. Yeah. He's just, he says, he's like, I'm just Al. And instead of doing like some gangster rap, they do Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang. And that's like the outro, and it starts cutting. And what actually makes me the most sad about it, like the movie ends, that's also very sad because it's hilarious. But as it's ending, it does like one of those things where they're showing pictures or like video of characters that were in the movie and saying like, it's like the credits and saying, attributing it to it. But then it's a bunch of scenes that were obviously cut out of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I've never seen this on DVD. I don't know if there is a DVD. I don't know if there's like deleted scenes, but there's like a couple of them. Like one of them is Phil Hartman with a gun. There's one with Gusto with a gun. There's one with Sissy where there's two guys like apparently trying to like double please her like at the restaurant.
Yeah.
There's like all these.
It was such a quick cut. I didn't.
There's all these scenes. I was just like, again, when you're watching it like critically, you're just like, wait. I missed all these things because I was never paying attention to them before. Yeah. And that's pretty much. So then we have two more scenes. We have a mid-credits, and then we have a post-credits.
The, like, MC Gusto with this custom geo-tracker that the motor has been replaced with a stereo system, but he calls it the Sayonara Jeep. I didn't get any of it.
I
was
didn't get
weird.
it either, so.
Sweet tracker, though. And then we get an after-credit scene that is just random as hell.
Okay, so you didn't understand the reference.
So there's a reference.
So that's a reference. So that's Isaac Hayes, and that's a reference to the movie I'm Gonna Get You, Sucka. And there's a very popular scene where Chris Rock, he's like playing a guy, and he goes into this restaurant, and he's just like, "Ooh, how much are the ribs?" And he's like, "I don't know, $2.50." And he's like, how many ribs come in the whatever? He's like, 5. So like 50 cents for a rib. And he's like, yeah. He's like, let me get one. He's like, all right, 1 rack. And he's like, no, one rib. And it's just this whole thing about like him. Then he like tries to get like, he's like, oh, how much for like a little bit of soda? He's like, I don't know, like.
So it's basically you and Cheney.
Yeah.
Like arguing with the Safeway employees about what the price was on the ice cream.
Yeah, but I was successful. I got this is just an aside, right? I don't know about y'all. If the people at the grocery store, I don't care about Safeway or corporations, Safeway, you will not be a sponsor. If you mismark something, that's on you and your team. That's not on me. The story he's referencing is this one time we were at Safeway and they had a coupon that was supposed to say like 4. What was it? It was supposed to say 4 for $5. But it actually said like 5 for $4, but it was something ridiculous. So like I ended up.
It was like a steal.
Yeah, it was.
And
a steal.
They just like swapped the numbers.
Yeah, it was like.
I forget. It was like. Was it drumsticks?
It was drumsticks.
Yeah,
so
drumsticks ice cream.
Yeah, I got like a box of like 8 ice cream for like.
It was like
$4 or something.
It was like
yeah,
something crazy.
It was something ridiculous, and so
I think that's what it was. Like if you bought 4, then you could like get 50 cents off. But it was like you just got it for 50
cents. Yeah, it said
cents.
it said like 4 for 50 cents or something like that. And so I'm checking out, and I'm just like, like she's like ringing up for what it's supposed to be, and I was like, no, it says over there, like 4 for 50 cents or something like that, and she's like, no, it doesn't. I was like, yeah, it does. She's like, all right, show me. Yeah. So then we go and walk over to the ice cream section, and the sign is literally how I said it. And if you've seen the anger in this woman's face when she ripped this fucking...
You would think that she was Jean Safeway.
She was
like
so
she
mad.
Owned this store, and this was coming out of her pocket.
Yeah, she's
so
like, mad.
Ripped the sign off the thing and like crumpled it up
and
honored it.
I got my ice cream though. So, you know, you got to stand on business and principles, and when it's about saving money, it's about me. So, final takes of the movie.
Oh, I loved it. As a suburban white kid who loves hip hop, I was like I think seeing this now, like if I saw it in the 90s, I wouldn't have got it for sure. Like you were saying, like a bunch of white people didn't get the jokes, so it wasn't that successful. But like now, like I loved it. I loved every second of it. Charlie Murphy, national treasure.
Yeah, R.I.P. R.I.P. Charlie Murphy.
Man.
Also R.I.P. Isaac Hayes too. There's probably a bunch of people.
And Deezer Dee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So how does it hold up for you? You said you were cracking up a lot.
Yeah, it was just as funny. I think this is another one of those ones that I think because of how culture has moved, it's like a little bit more funny. I think, I mean, they had like I think only a couple of the jokes didn't land so much. I mean, like, I guess there's the white kid saying the N-word. I think that's hilarious, actually. I think there's a couple, like, I don't know, like there was the 976 gays, which I guess, it's not.
There's still gay phone sex, probably.
Exactly. I think, like, I don't think they were making.
I mean, not phone sex, but you know,
it's not like a hurtful joke, really. But I think the joke is that it's gay, and so like that's
right.
That's
it's
kind
like
of like
degrading for Rip to be doing this.
Yeah,
he's
so
pretending
it's not
to
like
be
a great joke,
yeah.
but I think for the most part, most of the jokes land. The message of just being yourself really lands, and I think
watching it now. It probably hits better for more people than it did back then.
Yeah.
Because like basically everyone, especially like if you like hip hop, you're aware of this like faux gangsterism trope across hip hop.
Shout out Drake.
Right.
You're not a Canadian all-star. Fuck you.
This guy used to be the one trying to convince me to listen to Drake.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But yeah, like because we're all aware of this trope and the pretenders and the real ones, like there's nothing to like get about it. It's just like it's a well done comedy. Like I said, they never wink. There's the one wink.
Yeah.
But like they're taking it seriously. It's playing on like real stuff that is like still applicable. Mm-hmm. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
There's nobody that I would tell not to watch this. Like,
Yeah.
I thought this was so good. And it's only 90 minutes of your time.
Yeah, exactly. It's short and sweet. I'm happy that you feel that way. As a person who told you, it's one of my favorite movies. So I think on the Undercover Brothers scale, it probably lands as a 10 for me as well. I don't really have very much more to say there.
It's great. Go watch it. Like, if you disagree, let us know. If you agree, let us know. We want your takes in the comments.
If there's any scenes or any favorite parts that we missed, because we did kind of go a little bit quickly there at the end, please let us know, because there's definitely some really good things that we missed.
Yeah, definitely let us know what we missed. As of today...
you watched it on Amazon Prime, didn't you?
The movie. Sorry, yes.
I'm pretty sure you can get it on YouTube.
I rented it on Amazon Prime. I think you can rent it on Apple, YouTube.
Yeah.
And then the 7 C's if you're a swashbuckler.
Or you can come over to my house and watch it with me if you're my friend, and then you can donate that $5 or $4 you would have spent to our Patreon.
Yeah.
So, we got that Patreon up and running now. So there's all different scales. You got the Burien, you got the Chini.
They're named after places Ugo and I have lived.
Yeah, you got the Seattle. You got the Nigerian Prinzel. If you a big baller, hey. Give us the money, but yeah,
We need the funding.
exactly.
Build that boat.
We do not have the resources, but yeah, So that brings us to the end of the show. I'll let you do this part because you do it so well.
Thank you once again for joining us on the Black and White Cinema Podcast with Kevin Ugie. Like we said, please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Word of mouth makes a big difference in podcasts. Let us know what we missed. Let us know what you want to see, what movies you want. If you have a great take, we might read it live on a future episode. You can find us on just about any platform, but if you need help finding the links, you go to allmylinks.com/kev-n-oogie, and we will see you next time.
Peace to all the Nubians and the new black consciousness.
Cut.
What was your line?
I knew you were going to forget.
Revolution.
Revolution.